Hi Aquarius, welcome to your love reading for November 2017. This is Elizabeth from channelguidance.com. And before we start the reading, I wanted to show you what was at the bottom of each deck. At the bottom of this deck, you have the Two of Cups. And at the bottom of this deck, you have the Lovers. So I feel like this is highly significant. It's not the same card, but I mean, you have a kind of strong soulmate connection here. With the Lovers and the Two of Cups. We'll see if they come up for you again, but I thought this was interesting, and I feel like for those of you where you're kind of questioning a relationship, if you're going to get together with someone, I feel like this is a confirmation for you. Okay, so let's start off with this deck. We're going to get 9 cards for you and then move on to the next one. This is a love reading for the sign of Aquarius for November 2017. First card you have, Aquarius, is the Nine of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Aquarius for November 2017. The Three of Wands. The Eight of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Aquarius for November 2017. The Star. Love reading for Aquarius. The King of Cups. Love reading for the sign of Aquarius, the Page of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Aquarius for November 2017. The Six of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Aquarius, the Three of Cups. And the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so the card at the bottom of the deck is going to represent the main energy around your love life for the month of November. And you have the Moon. So this is kind of a mysterious energy. We're going to come back to it to see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. But I feel like this can be a very confusing time for Aquarius. I mean, you start off with the Nine of Swords. So I feel like it could be very confusing. There could also be a lot of things that you don't know. I want to come back to this card to see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. Now, we're going to take it one row at a time and then see how we can tie all this together. Okay, so on the top row you have the Nine of Swords, the Three of Wands, and the Eight of Pentacles. So the Nine of Swords is telling me that for many of you, you're having kind of trouble with some fears you have about a relationship. And I feel like for some of you, there are fears surrounding the future. Like you don't know if you and your partner are still going to be together in the future. And I say the future because you have the Three of Wands, which is a kind of future-oriented card. And I feel, you know, with the Nine of Swords, this is you driving yourself crazy. This is you not being able to stop, you know, the negative scenarios that are kind of playing out in your head. You know, like they're going to leave. Next year they're going to file for a divorce, or I'm going to lose them to someone else, or this is not going to work out and I'm going to have to walk out on them. I feel like you're worried about what's coming in the future with the Three of Wands. And now you also have the Eight of Pentacles. So the Eight of Pentacles is telling me, you know, that there's a lot of work to do to kind of put your fears to rest. And I feel like for many of you, you're worried. I mean, this is a general reading, so it's hard to say what exactly you're worried about. But with the Nine of Swords, there's a lot of worrying, there's a lot of tension. And I feel for those who are already coupled, that there's a lot of work to do to bring, I'm getting more stability to the relationship so that you feel safe and you feel like you can relax and you feel that you have a sure thing. Because I just keep getting the message that you're worried about what's coming up in the future. Like, I feel like there could be some kind of signs right now where you may kind of feel like, you know, there's some red flags that like, you can't ignore. And I feel like for some of you, you're holding back, like you're not talking to your partner about what it is that's worrying you, what's driving you crazy. You're keeping this to yourself. But I feel like there's a lot of work to do here with the Eight of Pentacles. There's a lot of work to do to bring more stability to your relationship, to where you actually feel safe, to where you don't spend the whole day, you know, kind of imagining crazy things, you know, imagining worst case scenarios, thinking the worst of your partner, thinking the worst of your relationship. That's what I get from these 3 cards. But, I mean, the Three of Wands, this is also kind of telling you, I mean, it also comes up as like an opportunity. The Three of Wands is, it's saying that, you know, your time will come. And I feel like for some of you, you know, with that Nine of Swords, I also get the feeling that for some of you, like, there's a lot of worry and tension because there's a partner that is no longer in your life, where you're just kind of worried that, you know, it's going to stay that way, that they're never going to come back, or that you're never going to have answers. The Three of Wands is telling you that, you know, your time will come where this person will either give you answers or you'll be able to fix the relationship. But again, the Eight of Pentacles is saying there's a lot of work to do here. So there's a lot of work to do around relationships where there is like a lot of stress and a lot of tension. But remember, the main energy that you had was the moon. This is the main energy for November. So try to keep calm in the month of November, because I feel like some of you could be really confused. And I feel like you may not know everything that there is to know about your partner. And I mean that in a way that you may not know why they're doing certain things. Like they might be acting a little weird and you might jump to conclusions. This is the ultimate card of jumping to conclusions. This is worry without merit. So what you're imagining, what you're worrying about is not even true. It's just your mind playing tricks on you. You want to be careful with the main energy being the moon, because this can be that your mind is kind of playing tricks on you, and you know, there's certain things about your partner that you don't know yet. I mean, things maybe that they will reveal in time, but I feel like this can really stress you out. But there is a lot of work to do around relationships where there are some really strong fears here. Now, the middle row, you have the Star, the King of Cups, the Page of Swords. So they're emphasizing here a water sign. So this would be someone who's a Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. This can be, for those who are single, this can be somebody new coming into your life. If you're single, this is you know, your ideal partner, because you have the Star. This is the person you've been waiting for. You've been hoping to meet this person, someone with these qualities. So for singles, look out for water signs. But for those who are already coupled, this can be your partner. This can even be you if you have a moon or rising sign in that element. There's just an energy of somebody, someone who's a water sign or someone in that energy where, you know, you're getting what you want from this person. Or if it's you, you're getting what you want. The Star represents your hopes and wishes. So hard to say in a general reading what you've been wishing for, but my guess is that you're wishing for either someone to notice you, or you're wishing for a deeper commitment from someone, or you're wishing for someone to come back into your life. The energy is there for your wishes to be granted with the Star. Your hopes are coming true. There is an energy here from the Page of Swords to be honest. The Page of Swords represents communication, honest communication. And I feel like for some of you, I am getting the energy for some of you, this can be someone from the past. Maybe this was the person, you know, that had you in this state of mind here from the Nine of Swords. Or maybe they are coming back into your life, but with the Page of Swords, you have to be completely honest about the way you are feeling. Again, this is just being completely blunt with, you know, with the person that you're communicating with. So if it's someone from the past, being completely honest about how the breakup made you feel, or maybe even how you feel now. Maybe how, you know, maybe you don't trust them and you're thinking it's going to end in disaster again. The Page of Swords is just encouraging you to be honest. I'm also getting that, you know, for those who are already coupled, that you have to be honest in telling your partner what you want. Because, I mean, like, your hopes and wishes are there. Whatever that means to you, your hopes and wishes are in this reading. But there's a need to be honest about what you're hoping for. So maybe you're hoping for, you know, children. Maybe you're hoping to get married. Maybe you're just hoping that you and your partner spend more time together. There's a need to be honest during the month of November, because remember, with the main energy being the moon, this can kind of like muddy the waters. This can be a really confusing time. Your partner is not reading your mind, so you have to communicate. And Aquarius as a water sign, depending on where your moon or rising sign is, like generally Aquarius is maybe, you know, maybe you don't necessarily wear your heart on your sleeve, but I feel like in the month of November, like, you've got to tell your partner what you want. You got to be honest with them. Now down here, you've got the Six of Pentacles, the Three of Cups, the Three of Pentacles. So, I mean, this is pretty much telling me that, you know, you're getting what you want. The Six of Pentacles. This is a card of getting not only what you want, but what you deserve. So you mean you have that energy 2 times right here with the Star, your hopes and wishes, and then the 6 of Pentacles. You are receiving. You're getting what you want from love in the month of November. And for some of you, know what you want is marriage with the 3 of Cups. For those who are already married, this just represents happiness. So I feel like there's been something that has been throwing off your relationship, Aquarius. Like maybe you've not been connecting, or someone has, you know, not been acting themselves. This has come up for other signs. The 3 of Cups just means that, you know, happiness returns. There is joy. There is laughter again. I do see here that you've got the 3 of Pentacles, which means that this ties in with the 8 of Pentacles, which you have right here. The 3 of Pentacles means that, you know, someone has to really try. There has to be a lot of effort to kind of bring things back into balance. And I feel like part of that effort is this right here, that you've got to communicate with your partner about, you know, what is worrying you. You got to communicate your hopes and wishes to your partner. Maybe you're the one, maybe everything is fine with your partner, but you're the one who's worried. Maybe you're the one that's stressed out because you want more from the relationship, or you want to see certain changes. Again, you've got to do what you've got to do, but you've also got to communicate that to your partner. And I see happiness around you. I mean, you started off with the 9 of Swords, but I mean, whether you're single or you're in a relationship, there is a lot of happiness and good times coming up for you in the month of November. You getting what you want. I see it in the Star, and I see it in the 6 of Pentacles. Okay, so let's get some confirmation from the same deck and see what other messages come up for you. What other messages are there for the sign of Aquarius for November 2017? We've got the 9 of Cups. What other messages are there for Aquarius for November 2017? The 8 of Swords. And the High Priestess. And I'll put her right here. So, interesting that you get the 9 of Cups, because the 9 of Cups is a lot like the Star. This is a card of hopes and wishes. It is a major arcana, so this is a major influence in your life. This is something significant happening in the month of November as far as your hopes and wishes. But this is the wish card from the minor arcana. So this represents, like, you know, you have that message twice in this reading, that your wishes are coming true. Whatever that represents to you, your wishes are coming true. I do feel like, you know, it's not just being handed to you, because you do have the 8 of Swords, and now you have the 8 of Swords and the 9 of Swords. This is, you know, you driving yourself crazy. These are fears. This is worries. This is anxiety, tension, and this is you feeling completely like stuck when it comes to your relationship. Feeling like, you know, you can't quite grab those hopes and wishes. You can't quite make them come true because you feel like there's certain obstacles in your way. I feel like, you know, whatever obstacles are in your way, your intuition, your gut instinct is telling you how to get past those. You have the High Priestess. So your intuition is speaking to you as far as how to get what you want from your relationship, how to get what you want from your partner. For those who are single, your intuition is telling you whether someone is right or wrong for you, or your intuition is telling you, you know, where you're going to meet that perfect person. The High Priestess is just very spiritual energy. It's intuitions, it's signs, synchronicities. So I feel here, I mean, there's kind of, you know, a little bit of everything going on in this reading, but I feel, you know, there's some challenging cards, but then there's some amazing energy here. It's like, you know, stuck and just kind of feeling like, you know, you can't do what you want. You're trapped. You're absolutely trapped in fear. Your hands are tied behind your back. Yet, you know, your hopes and wishes are here. Your hopes and wishes are like literally, you have 2 cards representing that energy in this reading. So it's like, you know, this, remember that this energy means that you only believe that you're stuck. And I feel like for some of you, again, this goes back to the main energy. There's possibly something you don't know about your partner, or something that you don't understand. This is a very, very confusing energy. It's hard to tell what it is in a general reading, but it's just, again, it's just like there's pieces of the puzzle that are missing that you don't understand, that you just don't get. But I see you getting what you want in this reading. I just feel like, you know, there has to be communication, and you can't feel powerless here. This is a powerless energy of feeling absolutely trapped. Not, you know, with the 9 of Cups and the Star card here. Like, what you want can happen in the month of November. Okay, let's get some confirmation from the second deck. What other messages are there for the sign of Aquarius for November 2017? You have the Nine of Pentacles, the King of Cups, Ten of Cups. At the bottom of this deck, you have the Ten of Swords. So this is telling you that, you know, the Ten of Swords is about moving on from something painful. This is an energy of, like, yes, you have been down, something really difficult happened to you, but this is an energy that it's time to pick yourself up. So for some of you, there could be a lot of worrying. This kind of sheds a little bit more light on what's going on in the whole reading over here. It could be that there's a lot of worrying because maybe there was some type of betrayal between you and your partner. Or maybe you can't relax anymore. You find it hard to trust them. I feel like, you know, this is a perfect time with all these positive cards in this reading. I mean, the Three of Cups and then the Star and the Nine of Cups. It's time to finally move past that. I see you have a repeating card as well. You've got a King of Cups from this deck, but you already had the King of Cups here from the other deck. So they're emphasizing someone who's a water sign. Again, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. So this can be you, if you have a moon or rising sign in that energy, or this can be your romantic partner or someone that's coming into your life. They're just emphasizing a water sign. Now over here, this water sign came out with the Nine of Pentacles and the Ten of Cups. So I feel like for some of you, like, I get the feeling the King of Cups is your significant other, whether it's someone you're dating, getting to know, or your partner. I mean, this came out with the Nine of Pentacles. This card is all about putting yourself first. You've got to put yourself first. And I feel like this has to do with this energy here, the Ten of Cups. This is your happiness. This is your happily ever after. So you've got to do whatever it is that you've got to do to feel like you're finally getting that. Remember that you did have the Page of Swords right here, which is being completely honest with someone as far as, you know, what you want from a relationship. And like I said, the Nine of Pentacles, this is you just being selfish, but in a positive way, putting yourself first. You know, like you're no longer going to wait for someone. You're no longer going to keep waiting. You're not going to make excuses for somebody. The energy is here for you to have that happily ever after. This card also represents marriage. It represents children. It just represents, you know, a lot of happiness. And for some of you, you can find that happiness with someone who is a water sign. Again, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, because it's here from two completely different decks. So just kind of looking at this reading, again, repeating energies of a water sign being significant to you, but also repeating energies, you know, of your hopes and wishes from the Star and the Nine of Cups. You know, whatever it is that you have been hoping to see, it's like it can happen, but I feel like you have to be careful because you're coming in with this energy from the Nine of Swords where you're highly stressed and there's a lot of fear about something you don't want to see happen. There's a lot of fear, and there's also a lot of fear here, so you feel powerless in some way. Remember that you're not powerless. It could be that you might feel powerless as far as like seeing your hopes and wishes manifest. You might feel like, you know, I'm not going to be able to get what I want from this person. But yet, you know, I see it in this reading. I see it here and I see it here. I do see there's a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work to do. There's the need to be honest. There's also the need to put yourself first. So for some of you, you can't keep making excuses for somebody. There's a need to move on in some way from the past, from moving on from something painful that happened. But just kind of keep in mind throughout the month of November, going back to the main energy from the first deck, that this can be a really kind of confusing time. Don't jump to conclusions when it comes to relationships, because with this energy, again, there are things that maybe you don't understand, like you don't see the full picture. There are things that could be revealed to you by your partner, things that come to light that you didn't know. Again, I mean, this looks, there's some challenging cards here, but I mean, there's also very positive cards of you finally, you know, seeing what you most want to see in a relationship or just in your love life in general. The energy of you getting what you deserve, of you receiving a lot of happiness. And you also have the Three of Cups saying, you know, for those who are already coupled, happiness, joy, laughter, all of that is returning to your love life. Especially if you have been in a place where, you know, there is no joy, there's no laughter, there's just a lot of fear from the Nine of Swords. But there is a need to work on your relationship. Someone really has to, I feel like somebody has to decide in the relationship that they are going to really turn their relationship around, whether it's going to be you or your partner. Again, guided by your intuition, because you have the High Priestess. There will be a lot of signs, and I feel like also feel guided to say there will be signs for those where, you know, you really should fight for the person that you love. There will also be signs for those where maybe, you know, it's time to move on, or maybe there's something going on. This won't apply to everyone, but I mean, I do see it. Your intuition could also be telling you that it's time for you to move on, especially if there is, you know, constant betrayals, one right after the other. But I mean, this does look positive. Keep in mind, you know, your hopes and wishes are front and center in this reading. I know I keep saying it over and over, but it just really stands out. Your hopes and wishes are front and center. Happiness returning. You could be highly stressed, but I feel like this has to do with confusion. Like you're not seeing things clearly. Maybe because you're so stressed out. Again, there's a lot of work to do when it comes to your love life, and there's a need to be completely honest about what you're feeling with your partner. Okay, Aquarius, this has been your love reading for November 2017. Hope you enjoyed it, and I will speak to you again next month.